To awaken the mind without attaching it anywhere. These 8 words are like a beam of light from a distant time, cutting through the confusion in the hearts of countless practitioners. They are regarded as the eye of the Diamond Sutra and the essence of Zen. They promise an ultimate freedom, a heart unbound by anything, yet fully alive in every present moment. Yet after the initial joy and silence of hearing these words, a deeper and colder question often rises like a ghost. If one should dwell nowhere, why awaken the mind at all? This is not merely a logical dilemma. It is a fear born from the instinct of life itself. If non-attachment is the direction of practice, does it mean we are ultimately moving toward absolute nothingness? If the destination is extinction and silence, why begin the journey at all? Let us face the sharp edge of this question directly. Non-abiding means not allowing the mind to remain fixed on any thought, emotion, memory, or identity. It asks us to loosen the hand that clings tightly to me and what is mine. But is not our entire life made of countless places where the heart resides? Our hearts dwell in a warm afternoon of childhood, where a melting piece of candy formed our first imagination of sweetness. Our hearts also dwell in an awkward farewell of youth, where words left unspoken became the script for all later regrets. We place our hearts in someone's eyes, and from that come joy and sorrow, longing and attachment. We place our hearts on the ladder of career and achievement, and from that come anxiety and desire day and night. We place our hearts in labels such as kindness, knowledge, and success, then spend a lifetime protecting this imagined identity. These abidings are proof of our existence. They are the anchors of our emotions and the coordinates of our memories. They are the bricks from which we construct the self and perceive the world. And now we are told to abide nowhere. It sounds no different from a complete exile of the self, like letting go of the only driftwood keeping us alive in the ocean at night, allowing ourselves to sink into a bottomless darkness. If we let go of our attachment to the past, how do we know who we are? If we let go of our expectations for the future, where do we find the motivation to move forward? When the heart has nothing to rely upon, like a kite with a broken string or a lonely boat drifting from shore, what kind of state would that be? Would it become a silent wasteland, a dry ancient well, an iceberg that never melts? If liberation means becoming a senseless stone, a pearl untouched by joy or sorrow, then such liberation would be indistinguishable from nihilism. This is the true fear hidden behind that question. If all things ultimately return to a vast emptiness, then why awaken the mind at all? Why create another thought? Why stir another speck of dust? Why let the flower of emotion and awareness bloom again from silence? Does this not seem like a futile game, from existence to emptiness, and from emptiness back to existence again? This question arises from a profound misunderstanding, confusing the emptiness of non-abiding with total annihilation. We confuse 2 kinds of emptiness and 2 kinds of stillness. The first emptiness is the emptiness of a dry well. The well is empty, but inside there is only endless darkness and stagnant air. Nothing can grow there. This is the terrifying void we imagine after non-attachment. The second emptiness is the emptiness of a living spring. The spring is also empty, yet precisely because it is empty, clear water can continuously flow forth, nourishing all things without end. This is the true meaning of non-abiding. We also confuse 2 kinds of stillness. The first is the stillness of a stone. A stone is silent, rigid, and closed to everything. It passively endures wind and rain for millions of years unchanged. This is the lifeless state we fear. The second is the stillness of a bright mirror. A perfectly polished mirror is also still, but its stillness contains all things. When birds fly past, it reflects birds. When clouds drift by, it reflects clouds. It welcomes everything yet retains nothing. Things come, and it responds. Things go, and it does not cling. This is the true realm of non-abiding. Non-abiding does not kill the heart and turn it into a dry well or a stone. On the contrary, it polishes the heart and restores it to its original nature, like a living spring and a bright mirror. Zen has a wonderful metaphor: space. We say a cup is useful because it is empty inside. That emptiness allows it to hold water. We say a house is useful because there is empty space within its walls. That emptiness allows people to live there. Non-abiding is giving the heart back its inner space. The ordinary mind is like a room stuffed with clutter, old wounds, anxieties about the future, the judgments of others, and stubborn self-attachments fill every corner. Every piece of furniture occupies precious space, leaving us unable to turn around or even breathe. We live squeezed between these objects, believing this is all life can be. The practice of non-abiding is therefore a kind of spiritual decluttering. It is not about tearing down the house, but about removing the unnecessary furniture that has long gathered dust and even begun to rot. When the mind is no longer occupied by these things, the vast, pure, original space naturally reveals itself. This space is the essence, the true nature of mind and the state of non-abiding. And the activity arising from this space is function, the awakening of the mind itself. Thus the question, why awaken the mind if one abides nowhere, is like asking, if a cup is empty, why use it to drink water? If a room is empty, why live in it? This reverses essence and function, cause and effect. Precisely because the cup is empty, it can hold water. Precisely because the mind abides nowhere, it can awaken a pure, unstained, wise, and compassionate heart. Now we can answer the question, why awaken the mind? Because the mind arising from non-abiding is completely different from the old mind bound by afflictions. The old mind is the deluded mind. It is driven by karma and habit, filled with attachment to the self. It is like a puppet on strings, unable to move freely. Its arising is passive, polluted, and brings suffering. But the mind arising from non-abiding is the true mind, a wondrous functioning. Its arising is active, pure, and filled with wisdom and compassion. Let us see how this true mind appears. It is like the rising sun whose light naturally shines across the earth. The sun never plans to illuminate the mountains before the rivers. It simply exists as it is, and light naturally radiates everywhere. This universal illumination is the sun's impartial heart. It is like a lotus emerging from mud, unstained and graceful. The lotus never hates the mud beneath it, nor clings to its own fragrance. Under the meeting of causes and conditions, it simply blooms naturally. This unstained purity is the lotus heart. It is like an empty valley echoing every sound. Whether tiger roars, monkey cries, or the calls of wild geese, the valley receives them all, responds to them all, and then returns to silence. It never judges sounds as good or bad, nor does it hold on to any echo. This all-embracing resonance is the compassionate heart. Thus, awakening the mind is not an extra artificial act. It is the natural flowing forth of life energy when the mind is no longer bound. When your heart is no longer trapped by past wounds, true forgiveness and reconciliation can arise. When your heart is no longer trapped by anxiety about the future, true steadiness and joy in the present can arise. When your heart is no longer trapped by the gaze of others, true creativity unique to you can arise. When your heart is no longer trapped by the illusion of self, the great compassionate heart of the Bodhisattva can naturally emerge. This heart is the artist's inspired brushstroke when self and world disappear. It is the scientist's sudden insight into the order of the universe. It is the infinite tenderness rising in a mother as she gazes at her child. It is also the supreme subtlety of the Zen master who simply lifts a flower and smiles in silence when asked about the deepest truth of Buddhism. Nothing new is created. It is merely the natural reflection of the Buddha nature that has always existed within you. Now let us return to the original question. If one abides nowhere, why awaken the mind? The question is like asking a great dancer. Now that you have mastered every technique and reached complete relaxation and balance, why continue dancing? The dancer might smile and answer, precisely because my body has forgotten itself, the dance can truly happen. It is no longer I who dance, the way itself dances through me. Non-abiding is the dancer's body. Awakening the mind is the beautiful dance itself. The body's emptiness and the dance's brilliance are two sides of the same reality. Without a relaxed and empty body, there can only be stiff movements. Without the expression of dance, the body's freedom would have no meaning. Thus, true practice never clings solely to emptiness, nor solely to action. It is to maintain a non-clinging heart amid all worldly activities. It is to carry a transcendent heart while engaging in ordinary life. When speaking with others, your ears listen and your mouth speaks, yet your heart does not dwell on praise or blame, nor cling to its own opinions. In this moment, awakening the mind is function and non-abiding is essence. When working, your brain thinks and your hands act, yet your heart does not dwell on anxiety about success or failure, nor cling to gain and loss. Again, awakening the mind is function and non-abiding is essence. When emotions arise, whether joy or sorrow, you allow them to flow through your body and experience them fully, yet you are not defined by them and do not become entangled in them. Once again, awakening the mind is function and non-abiding is essence. Because one abides nowhere, one can give rise to every kind of heart. And while giving rise to every kind of heart, one still abides nowhere. This is the free heart. It rolls through the dust of the world, yet not a single leaf clings to it. It tastes every flavor of human life, yet always preserves the openness of the empty sky. This is the ultimate answer. Your heart is already complete. There is no need to seek outside yourself. One only needs to sweep away the dust. When the dust is gone, the light naturally appears. And that light is the countless wondrous expressions of your awakened heart.